What is this place, Gandalf?
Voldemort's castle, Hermoine. Home to the witches and wizards of Rowling.
That sign says it's a school for wizards.
School? That sounds super good.
Dumbledore!
Oh, Frodo, look out! Why are you so sad, little girl?
My favorite teacher got blasted out of a window by another teacher when I looked on helplessly. Do you go to Hogwarts or Fern Creek?
Silence, Frodo! We're trying to minimize local references here.
It's just that you look really similar to him. Suspiciously similar, in fact. Wait, yeah, I know you. You're that guy from that thing.
I'm Gandalf the Grey, Mayor of the Third Edge, Protector of the realm of Middle-earth. Wielder of the Flag of Adorn!
Yes! I'm Harry from England.
This here is my companion, my friend, Frodo Baggins of the Shire.
What does he do?
Bitches mostly.
So you're telling me that the main character in your adventures is also the least likable character? That's weird. I'm sad now! Dumbledore was supposed to host a roast in my honor, and now he's dead and it won't happen! So many hilarious, edgy Caitlyn Jenner jokes that no one will get to hear! Gandalf, I have an idea. You look like this bumblebee fellow. How about you host the roast?
Silence, Frodo! I just had an idea. Idea that is completely unique to my own mind. I look like this dildo fuck fellow. I will host the roast of Harry Potter.
Would you?
Yes! Sit down, Harry! Frodo, sit down!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the roast of Harry Potter! Allow me to bring your roasters to the stage. First up, Mr. Ronald Weasley. Can't tell if those are freckles or something else. Clearly, Ron's parents do not believe in vaccinating the children. Next up is Lord Voldemort. It is good to know that the monster from Pan's Labyrinth got his eyes fixed. Hermione Granger. Yes, there she is, struggling to her seat. Would have thought maybe Ron would have given her a hand. Typical ginger. Next up is Severus Snape. Severus Snape, you look like... You look perfect. That's a fantastic costume. Congratulations. Next up is Rubius Hagrid. Dear Lord, Howard Stern has truly fallen upon hard times. It looks like Tom Hanks was deserted on an island made of chocolate. But but I cannot wait for your guitar solo in the middle of Black or White. There's a Slash reference. Michael Jackson, anyway. And finally, the architect of the Harry Potter universe, Miss J.K. Rowling. Looking good, J.K. I actually don't have any jokes, so I think you look just fine. Tell me, have you ever had sex with someone who was 3,000 years old? It's not very good. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to be hosting this event in Hogwarts Castle. It's just storied history and very interesting things, such as the staircases that change position every 30 seconds randomly. It's quite convenient. Your potions class is in the North Wing, and now it's in the South Wing. Seems like a lawsuit waiting to happen. The location of the school is perfect. Let us build a school for children directly next to the Forbidden Forest. Yes, right next to the giant spider's nest. That's perfect. And every few years, let us host a tournament in which, for some reason, it's totally acceptable for a student to die. So long as it's a senior, wouldn't want to do anything reckless. I am borderline immortal, and I would never enter the Goblet of Fire. Did you see The Hobbit? Literally everyone was fighting a dragon except for me. Hogwarts does employ ghosts as teachers, which just goes to show you the importance of getting tenure. Very important. I would like to remind you all that this is a roast. Throughout the evening tonight, you will hear foul language. People will say things like Hufflepuff and Gryffindor and cunt. If you find yourself offended this evening, I kindly suggest that you remove the Nimbus 2000 from your anus. Let us begin with Mr. Ronald Weasley. Never before has the name been so descriptive of the man. Yes, Ronald Weasley. Just looks like a Ron, you know? From top to bottom, just 100% Ron. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ronald Weasley.
Hi everyone, I'm Ron Weasley. Of course you might know me better as Harry Potter's ginger coward friend, or the poor dumb kid with 12 siblings, or the worst Quidditch keeper Gryffindor House has ever seen. Ever. Thanks for that, JK. Seriously. JK, seriously. I'll never get tired of saying it. Seriously, JK. Seriously, JK. It wasn't enough that my entire identity be defined in relation to Harry. Oh, he's brave and I'm a coward. He's rich and I'm poor. Everybody likes him and I'm a piece of shit. His great parents are dead and my awful parents are still very much alive. But you had to make me a fucking ginger. Come on. Just let me have something. Anything. No. A fucking ginger with 12 siblings. Good to know Catholicism is alive and well. In the wizarding world of Harry Potter. Not even in the post-game wrap-up at the end of all the books do I get anything. Harry gets to marry my cute sister Jenny. I know she's a ginger too, but she's a girl, so it works for her. We've all seen Wendy's commercials. He gets to marry Ginny. I get to marry Hermione. God, look at her. No, don't look at her. Second book, we should have locked her in the Chamber of Secrets and left her there to die. Sounds about right. Hermione. Ugh, Hermione. Her name sounds like a weird dollar store brand of luncheon meat. A pound of the Hermione brand salami, please. And she's weird in the bedroom, too. God, she makes me smack her ass and say, I solemnly swear I am up to no good. It's terrifying. It really is. What a Horcrux. Just look at it. When I kissed her in the last book, that wasn't a release of romantic tension. That was me settling. Do you understand? That was me giving up. I thought I was going to die, and I did not want to die a virgin. Jesus Christ. Harry and I had one of those American Pie-style pacts where we lose our virginity before graduation. We didn't die, and now we're married. Fuck. Do you know that friend that you had in high school that made the mistake of marrying the first person they ever kissed? And then now all you ever hear from them anymore is just a bunch of Facebook posts about how they feel unsatisfied and wish they'd done more with their life. This guy right here. That's me. I want out. I want out. Please let me out. Please write another book where I get out. Write it, JK. I'm not kidding. Write it. You fucking bitch. By the way, I mentioned Facebook. We do have Facebook in the wizard world, but it's literally just a book of faces. You open it up and it's just faces and they move and talk to you and none of them will shut the fuck up about Caitlyn Jenner. Everybody's got an opinion. All these wizard kids, we either die young or we get married right out of high school. It's just Degrassi. It's Degrassi. It's wizard Degrassi. It wouldn't have surprised me if the second year we got a new transfer student and it was just Drake in a wheelchair. Actually, that would have surprised me a little bit because we don't really have any black students in Hogwarts. I don't know what a black person is at all. JK plopped us all down, all of us children plopped us down right into the middle of this world full of creeps and goblins. For God's sake, Harry had an owl named Hedwig. I had a rat named Scabbers that lived in my clothes and then turned out later to be a full-grown man named Peter. Jesus fucking Christ, woman. What kind of pedophile fucking... Dumbledore, the only teacher that gave a shit about any of us, she made him a gay murder victim who gets hate crime spelled out of a window by Snape, a guy who got friend-zoned so hard by Harry's mom that he spent the rest of his life following her son around like he's some kind of warlock Forrest Gump. The only other person that helped us out at all was this Hodor-looking son of a bitch back here, who lives in a cabin in the woods, presumably because he's not legally allowed within 100 feet of schools and playgrounds. Once again, good to see Catholicism is alive and well in the wizarding world of Harry Potter. None of the adults, none of them competent enough to protect us from this bald freak here, he who must not have written any jokes. I don't know what's wrong with his face. It looks like he was involved in some kind of horrible lab accident that combined his DNA with a piece of prosciutto. You look like a fat skeleton. Anyway, my point is, fuck J.K. Rowling, fuck you for making me this way and writing this character to be as pathetic as I am. After you wrote our books, you wrote a novel called The Casual Vacancy. Is that by any chance referring to the hole in your chest where your heart is supposed to be? I guess it could be worse, though. I mean, I don't... Have you seen this Hobbit? Have you seen this Hobbit? Jesus, look at him, right? At least I got to marry somebody. What girl would want to marry that, right? No wonder he threw that ring into the volcano. Nobody was going to take it from him. Then they had Gollum following them around, looking like Dobby the house elf on methamphetamines. Just fiended for another hit of the precious rock. And Dumbledore at least helped us out when he was alive. Gandalf fucking shows up at the top of the trilogy and then just disappears. For like a really long time. And then when he finally comes back, he's calling himself Gandalf the White, which leads me to believe that while he was gone, he was getting jumped into the Aryan Brotherhood in prison. Sorry, Aryan Fellowship. It makes me sad to say it, but really, as fucked up as the wizarding world of Harry Potter is, it's all we have, and it's better than any other fantasy world. Game of Thrones? Ugh. Harry Potter has not once raped his sister. Not once. I mean, he doesn't have a sister, but if he did, he probably wouldn't. Like, because it's not in the books, and like they wouldn't add something like that in that's not in the books, right? Right? Later they wouldn't change it, right? We're better than Narnia because we don't have a Jesus lion making you feel bad for only seeing the first movie. Somebody name the second Narnia movie. Right, exactly. Any big fans of Oz here? Oz? Well, we have Azkaban. That's a joke about fictional prisons. Golden Compass? We're better than the Golden Compass because people actually know what Harry Potter is. World of Warcraft? We beat that. To enjoy Harry Potter, you don't have to steal your parents' Wi-Fi. And finally, we are light years better than Twilight because your stepmom has never finger blasted herself to Harry Potter. Or maybe she has, actually. I don't know what she's into these days. HP number 1, Gryffindor House Quidditch rules!
Ronald Weasley, everyone. Before the show, Ronald Weasley asked me if I had ever hooked up with Professor McGonagall. To which I said, what? No, are you fucking serious? And he said, only one time, now we're just friends. Sirius Black is a character in your universe. Any hoozles. Next up is Lord Voldemort. He is the Michael Jackson of the Harry Potter universe, in that he has no nose, and his greatest enemy is an outspoken little boy. Lord Voldemort!
Greetings, Muggle scum. I am the Dark Lord Voldemort, he who shall not be named, heir of Slytherin. And what the fuck is this? I was told there would be no children at this roast. I cannot be within 100 feet of this sexy young boy. Who is this? A hobbit. How disappointing. Oh, I had a little bit of legal trouble with the Ministry of Magic Special Victims Unit. Exposing my elder wand to minors. I'm not proud of it. Oh, who am I kidding? I'm very proud of it. Oh. That's what I sound like when I laugh. Oh. So, I'm not here to roast Harry Potter tonight, despite the name of the show. I feel like I've terrorized him and all the young boys at Hogwarts long enough. Instead, I would like to make up with Harry Potter. I'd like to express my love of Harry. I love you, Harry.
I love you so very much. So much. You know what, Harry? Would you come over here and just give me a hug? Just come over here and give Voldemort a hug. Come on. What? No? Let's hug it out, bitch. Come on, you can do it. No. Very well. Then I shall have to use a spell that I haven't used in a while. At least not since I used it repeatedly on Ron. Do you remember that spell, Ron? Abracadabra! That's right. Come over. Yes, come over to Voldemort. Right over here. This is the magic spot. Right here. There you go. Ah, Harry. You've grown, but it's good to see you. Ah, you're so warm, Harry. Hugging you is like sipping into a jacuzzi. You're my little Horcrux. You're my little Horcrux, aren't you, Harry? Aren't you? Do you know why you're my Horcrux, Harry? Because I wanted a piece of me inside you. What is love, Harry? Baby, don't burn me. Don't burn me. No more. Oh, that was an orgasm. Oh, my God. That one was an orgasm. Oh. Oh, my. Oh. You're still here? You can go now. I'm done with you. You can sit your sexy ass back down on that throne. Oh. Well, I got what I wanted. Voldy out. Mason Verger from Hannibal, everyone. Looks like one of my giant eagles took a shit on your head. Next up to the podium is a very good friend of mine. Mr. Frodo Baggins, you're no Bilbo Baggins, that's for sure. Bilbo faced a dragon, and you basically just walked a lot, tried not to have sex with your best friend, and then threw a ring into a volcano, which is like the easiest thing to do ever. It's like the opposite of a carnival game. Ladies and gentlemen, Frodo Baggins of the Shire.
Hi, everybody. It's good to see you. I have to go ahead and apologize if I have a cough. The Shire's been hit with a hepatitis C epidemic. And it's like AIDS in southern Indiana. We don't have shoes, so we tend to step on needles every now and again. I've been coughing so much, I guess you could say I'm Frodo Baggins. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's talk about these books. They're not good. I don't think it's a terrible book. The first one got written when J.K. was homeless, and because of that, in Middle Earth, we passed the J.K. Rowling Act, where we feed all of our homeless to cave trolls before they get a chance to write shitty stories. And I don't want to be disrespectful. I don't want to complain. You know, I don't want to be a real Frodo Baggins about it, but. It doesn't make any sense. Your school doesn't make sense. You literally have a fraternity of villains and killers, and they can be with everyone else. It's like, hey, kids, here's your new professor.
Charles Von Murder. But don't worry, we checked his background. He's really smart. He was the author of the book House Elf Final Solution. It's cool though. He's with Slytherin. Can't all be winners, man. I actually read one of your books in college, and that's when I was my college days. I was a bit more promiscuous. You could have called me Frodo Baggins. Yeah. You know what they say about a hobbit with big feet, right? I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn or be a bit real Frodo Baggins, but we're not small everywhere. If you're not on board, you might as well get on, because puns are the number 2 export of the Shire. So that's all we have. Ron got his leg broken one time by a whomping willow. I guess, and he couldn't walk for a while. I guess you could say he was Legolas. Huh? Yeah? All right. They do have a good Quidditch. What's that sport you have? Quidditch? That's cool. That's a fun game. That looks like fun. That's where you go try to catch a golden flying anal bead. That sounds really fun. I like to play it. I do like the Harry Potter universe. There's a lot of diversity. They have elves and wizards and giants and Jews and what? They're goblins? Are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
We have goblins in Lord of the Rings, but they actually look like goblins and they eat things. They're not just a bad Nazi caricature of what a Jew might look like. That's horrible. That is disgusting, JK. That's horrible. But okay. Have you ever had sex with a wizard before, man? Because Gandalf's he's a really sexy wizard. I like to call him a Gandalf. He's really. You could just. I'll hook it up. All right. We got back there. We got John. Looks like he ate all the snow cones. Game of Thrones reference. Snow. There's more. It's Fat Moses. It looks like Moses parted ways with his diet. Just don't know. He's fat. And by the way, if you were offended by my goblin Jew joke, it's okay, because he is our Tolkien Jew. You Tolkien to me? Are you Tolkien to me? That one gets me every time. All right, I gotta go in a second. I'm sorry if I've been a little upset. I had a house built, and I'm battling it out with the contractor because he didn't build a house I wanted. I wanted less windows and more door. Yeah? Alright. Sorry guys, I hope my pants didn't fall down too much. I don't want to be Frodo Baggins. Alright guys, I gotta get out here. I gotta get Sam, where are you? I got a new ring. I got it from Jared. Got it Sam, where are you?
Master, can you give us the rings? Just let us touch it. We filmed over 6 movies. We just want to touch it. Just let me. If you give me your ring, I have a ring I can give to you. Yes. Ring worms. Oh, why is Gollum even on the list of Harry Potter's? He does not know any Harry Potter's characters. What's its Voldemort? Oh, sounds like Kroger from Germany. It's gross. Gollum's eating better looking things off the bottom of his cave. Just do jokes. Where's my sets? My sets? Where's my sets? You stole it from us. You dirty hobbits, they stole my jokes. They stole my punchlines. They stole my promises. Oh, how are we going to make them laugh without any jokes? You've done it once. You can do it again. Oh, but everybody knows to do comedy. You have to bring at least 5 friends. But you don't have any friends. Nobody likes you. Oh, I'm not listening. I'm not listening. You will never make them laugh. Oh, I can tell them dick jokes. Everyone likes dick jokes. No, not on the roasts. Not anymore. You have to pick a character. You have to wear a costume. You have to do an impression. Oh, but Gollum can't even do an impression. He can't even do Christopher Walken's. We must get revenge on them. We must take them to the stairs. Oh yes, the stairs. The winding stairs of the Bardstown Theatre. Yes. And then up the stairs they go into the roast of Harry Potter. Yes. And once they go in, they can never come out. Oh, and those comedians are not very funny, are they, Precious? No, those comedians are not very funny at all. And then we take all their money for me! Did you forget people are looking at you, Precious? Oh, hey everybody. You guys weren't listening to that, were you? No, just your joke, you idiot. This woman's tired of staring at your balls. I don't have any jokes, but would you like a riddle? Do you want to play a game? You don't want to play a game? You want to play a game. If I have a riddle, if you get it wrong, I'll give you back your money. If I get... Oh, wait. Let me see. If you get it right, you get back your money. If you get it wrong, we eat with you at Red Lobster. What's Gollum's favorite Oscar-nominated movie from 2009?
Lord of the Rings.
Precious! We get all of your Twitter Big Biscuits!
A creature known as Gollum, everyone. He looks suspiciously like my testicles. Should probably get that checked out. And let's hear it for Frodo Baggins, everyone. I'll never forget, it was one day Frodo and I were riding atop of one of my giant eagles, the one that shit on Voldemort's head. And we had a long journey, and when the eagle landed, Frodo and I felt very drowsy and out of it. One might say you could have called him Frodo Jet-Laggins. I stand by that one. Next up to the podium, is Miss Hermione Granger. Now, I must say, before she comes up here, that I just don't find witches funny. Yes. I just feel like comedy is more of a wizard's game. You know? It's difficult to laugh at someone when you want to fuck them, you know? But, well, clearly this Hermione will not have that problem tonight. So I guess let's see what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, Hermione Granger.
Thank you. Gandalf, is it? Gandalf? I'm having a hard time understanding you. Is it, what does Gandalf mean? Is it the elven word for talks like a stroke victim? Seriously, thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule of, having a portrait painted on the side of 1970s statutory rapist vans. Must be a busy day. And how about these miscreants you brought with you? You and the cape wearing business castaway. You look like Oliver Twist and Goat Boy had an alien butt baby together. And this one, I advocate for house elves so they don't turn out like you. You've clearly got no friends, so you just talk to yourself? You're the fantasy world's only schizophrenic. That hair is not a good look. And I think the best way to remove it might be by setting yourself on fire. Well, Professor Snape is here. Snape, you're so sour-faced you looked as if you exist in a cloud of farts. You've looked constipated for the last 20 years. Have you ever heard of Metamucil? Unconstiparum! No, it didn't work. You look like Trent Reznor's taller, more depressed brother. Cheer up, I know you're a Death Eater, but would it kill you to smile once in a while? Apparently so. All right, well, you know, I had things to say to you all today, but I'm just really put off by the way you talk to me, Ron, when the things you said about me. Ronald Weasley, you are a fucking weasel. You look more like Ronald McDonald, you ass clown. Why did you wait until now to let me know how you felt about me? Why pretend to be excited about this sure-to-be mediocre ginger parasite growing inside of me until it was too late? I could have said abortionarum and been done with it back when we found out I was pregnant. But no, I guess you wanted to know what success felt like. And like most high school dropouts, just about the only thing you can succeed up at is getting a woman pregnant. Yes, I thought we were in love. You settled for me. You settled for me. What a laugh. Is that why the only job you can find is in your brother's magic joke shop? That barely covers the cost of electricity. You realize that, don't you? It's my job with the Department of Magical Law Enforcement that pays the bills. I get about as much satisfaction being the primary breadwinner in our home as I do from our lovemaking. Yes, well, we're being perfectly honest. I suppose everyone should know you're a premature ejaculator. Or is that when you're only sleeping with someone you settled for? Yes, Ron is a two-pump chump. At least Harry knows what a clitoris is. Ask your sister, Ronald. Ginny comes buckets with your best friend here. Maybe you can just let him draw you a map of the female vulva. It really is a shame that a female need know no sexual pleasure in order to become pregnant. My vagina is going to be decimated by this child's birth before I have an orgasm with another human being. Well, I'm embarrassed, frankly. I suppose I ought to calm down and get back to the matter at hand, our friend Harry. I do know something about our friend Harry. It's sort of an open secret around Gryffindor. I don't think it's a very good idea to give an invisibility cloak to a boy just as he's reaching puberty. All his talents, being a quiet wanker isn't one of them. But, that cloak weighs about half a kilo more than it did. Oh, when you received it in that. And that is all invisible semen. Harry, I am proud of you, and I'll work together on assignments in the Department of Magical Law Enforcement. When we get to work together, it does make my day. And unlike some people we know, you are both a gentleman and a scholar.
Hermione Granger, everyone. Let's keep going for her. Exactly as hilarious as I feared she would be. Just can't help but feel that if it were a wizard, anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, our next roaster this evening.
Who is that?
Hello?
Who does that? Posted.
It appears that this hat has attempted to communicate.
Ah! Who's got me? Unhand me! Could you turn me around, please? Aha! Yes! It is I, the Great Sorting Hat! Well, that's just my job. My real name is Patrick. I like to make jokes. Well, I call them hat tricks. If they don't amuse you, you can suck on my hat dick. My power is wit. I don't use a wand or do charms. Not because I'm not magic, but because I have no fucking arms. But I see much more clearly than these wand-waving fools, because logic and reason are my governing rules. So if I were to give you a little advice, don't put me on your head, because I'm covered with lice. And don't put your faith into old incantations. Just think your way through each unique situation. Wise words from the past always need rearranging, because knowledge lasts forever, but truth is always changing. Now, direct your attention back to Gandalf's gray head. More precisely, direct it to what's atop instead. Or should I say who? Because that's my friend Frederick. And he's gonna kick you his gangster hat rhetoric. Yo, before I get it going, I'll give a shout out to Pat. He was flowing like a cat in a hat. Minus the cat. Yo, every time I spit, you know I spit from the south. And I spit out gray hairs because they get stuck in my mouth. Of all the fucking hats, I'm the most fucking paid. And I still provide Gandalf with some excellent shade. Yeah, he's my homeboy, man, but sometimes we fight. Like when he talks about leading me to go dress in white. I'm like, come on, Gandalf, make it through first. A grand wizard in white robes? Dog, this ain't Middle Earth. Apart from Latinos, the Derby's my favorite race. So many fine fucking hats all in one fucking place. And they say don't trust a thing that can do its own thinking. If you can't see its brain, because your ass will get taken. Sometimes I go a little too deep with my references. Sometimes I go too deep with these Hogwarts freshmenses. Yeah, not one blade of grass on the court, so I ball. And for a gangster-ass hat, there ain't no statutory law. So you probably want to know why my flow's so heinous. Hey, you try spending a day hung on a rack by your anus. Nice, Frederick. That's good. Real shit there. Yeah, Patrick and Frederick, 2015. Shout out to Hagrid's dad. Dude fucked a giant. Some impressive shit. It's good. All right. Thank you, Frederick. You know, I always found it strange that they use toilets at Hogwarts. I'm not doing rhymes anymore, all right, guys? Just man to man, hat to people. Alright, yeah, they're using toilets at Hogwarts. They're sending all their poop out into the delicate environment. I mean, they can use their wands to make things disappear. Seems like a missed opportunity to go a little green. Do something for the environment. The giant squid, I think, would appreciate it. And they have these things at Hogwarts called vanishing cabinets. Hey, dog, they should just call those toilets. God damn it, Frederick, don't take my punchlines. Yeah, you want to do our impression of the first Harry Potter movie casting? No, dude, just shut up, all right? All right, here's my impression of the casting meeting for the first movie, all right? There's a young guy in the back after the meeting. He hasn't made his bones yet. He raises his hand. He says, sir, there's 7 books, right? Yes, that's right. Smith, haven't you read them? It's your job to read the books. Okay, yeah. There's 7 books. How old's that Dumbledore fella that we hired? Oh, Dumbledore's an old character. We needed it. Oh, yeah, I know, but there's 7 books. I mean, what were the odds of him living through all 7 of those movies? Okay, I have some advice for Ron. Ron's always complaining about being poor. Ron, I don't know if you've noticed it, but you're a fucking wizard. Magic solves every problem that being poor causes. Why do you think so many poor people believe in God? Thank you. Abracadabra, I'm done. Yay!
Let's hear it for some sort of autistic Dr. Seuss, ladies and gentlemen. Fear we've got lots of time to make up now. So moving right along, the next roaster is a soul more tortured than Neville Longbottom's parents. Seriously? You're just awed because a wizard told a joke about a fictional character's parents that aren't even really in the book. Ladies and gentlemen, Severus Snape.
Open your books to page 394. I find it laughable that we're attempting to hold the roast of Harry Potter in Louisville, Kentucky. Mr. Potter, do you even know the slightest detail about Kentucky? Mr. Potter, tell me, what would you get if you added a shot of Woodford Reserve to a vial of wormwood? You don't know. 5 points from Gryffindor. Let's try again, Mr. Potter. Tell me where I could find an American pharaoh.
America, Egypt,
You have your mother's eyes. But not her brain. Mr. Potter, could you even tell me the difference between U of K and U of L? It's a pity Pierre's fame is not everything. For your information, Mr. Potter, bourbon and wormwood make a sleeping potion so powerful it is known as Derby of the Living Dead. It is said to make Bill Cosby look like Rick Pitino. American Pharaoh is a horse that will soon be served across Taco Bells in all of Jefferson County. And finally, Mr. Potter, UK and U of L are the same thing. Institutions that care little about education and only about fucking basketball. Let's assume you don't know what fucking basketball is, Mr. Potter. Basketball is much like Quidditch, only with no defense. Free education for that. But it's gives me mixed emotions to be up here looking into your mother's eyes, Mr. Potter. Your mother and I, we were close. We were very close, Harry Potter. You have your mother's hips as well. Lily Potter gave me Hogwarts. Mr. Potter, there's just one final thing I want to see. I want to see it with my own eyes, Mr. Potter. You have my hair!
Hey, everyone. Well, so much for minimizing local references. Moving right along, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Rubius Hagrid.
Hello, Harry Potter nerds. How are you? I am Hagrid. I am much shorter in person. And my accent is much more non-existent in person. Some of us aren't as good as accents as other people on the show. But if you can believe the bullshit in Harry Potter, you can believe this shit. Okay. I know what you're all thinking. I'm really pulling off this dad bod. And you're right. Okay, anyway. What a great cast. I mean, this is amazing. We had so many amazing characters on the throne. Fat John Lennon at graduation. We got Chucky from the Rugrats. We got that poor woman whose face got ripped off by that chimp. Behind him, we got, of course, Mowgli, if he had AIDS. Emo Phillips, he was great. Emo Phillips. A couple of you know Emo Phillips. And we got Frodo Baggins. Frodo Baggins sucked so much dick, you should call him Frodo Fat. Anyway. Moving on. Hey, Ann Coulter Granger's here. What are you doing here? No, seriously, give it up for J.K. Rowling. The books were amazing. Weren't they amazing? She's such a great writer. I mean, for me, yeah, okay, one person. That's what you'd expect at a show completely about Harry Potter. No, I mean, to me, the Harry Potter books, they're like the Bible. By which I mean, for a children's book, way too long. The best that joke is going to do in Kentucky. Dumbledore is not here, obviously, because he's dead, but I'd like to speak to him if he could hear me. Dumbledore, if I have any problem with the way you run Hogwarts, this is my one issue, and I've really felt this for my whole time there. Maybe, since you know the Slytherins are all evil, maybe, I don't know, how about not having them in the school to begin with? That's retarded. That's like having a high school with a department for school shooters. Here's our theater department and here's our school shooter department. They might cause a problem later on, but what can we do? Not let them in? Fucking yeah! I love the movies, though. They're all great, all of them. Harry Potter and the Tree of Who Gives a Fuck, and but the movies are great. They all bring up really important moral issues, you know, really important moral issues like which movie is it socially acceptable to jack off to Hermione? Some people say never because she's not even 18 by the end of the series. I say the fourth movie. Calm down. I don't want you getting so offended. It's just a pedophile joke. Quit being so uptight. But now that I see Hermione here, I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking? You look terrible. I know the camera adds 10 pounds. What the hell did the stage do? When you first came out here, I thought you were Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Fucking you is the only courageous act Ron Weasley has ever done. Hey Ron, how's it going? You know, a lot of people like to say Ron's a coward, Ron's a weakling, a pussy, a terrible wizard, a whiny, unlikable, unfunny, annoying friend, a little bitch, a ginger-haired, worthless waste of space. Voldemort's here. Voldemort, you albino Vincent D'Onofrio looking motherfucker. You look like powder if you was in a terrible car accident. You look like a cross between Marlon Brando and Sloth from Goonies. How much cocaine did you have to do for your nose to end up looking like that? I'm sorry I keep on saying your name. I know it's the name you can't say. You can't say. Who do you think you are, Beetlejuice? Go fuck yourself. Interesting fact, when you say Candyman 3 times, he comes out. When you say Lord Voldemort 3 times, Ron Weasley shits his pants. Snape is here. Snape is played in the movies by Alan Rickman. Who knows Alan Rickman here? Yeah. Alan Rickman, an actor with amazing range. In some movies, he plays an effeminate villain. And in other movies, he plays a slightly more effeminate villain. What can't he do besides not play an effeminate villain? Gollum? Gollum, seriously, just cut off those strands of hair. You're not fooling anyone. You're fucking bald, accept it. You have the worst comb-over since Bruce Willis in Death Becomes Her. You look like Heath Ledger's Joker wearing a condom. It's not a great look. Finally, Harry Potter. We're all here to roast Harry Potter. Why do these nerds like you so much? I don't get it. When I picture a badass wizard in my head, I do not imagine a 10-year-old with the face of Rachel Maddow. Some of you are laughing, some of you don't know who Rachel Maddow is. No, when I picture a badass wizard, I picture someone like Gandalf. Look at him. That's a wizard. How dare you compare yourself to him? He's got it all. Age, wisdom, experience, a long gray beard, what is most likely a catheter under those robes. I mean, how can you compare yourself? He dropped a Balrog off the Misty Mountain. You haven't even dropped your balls yet. Thank you all. That's my time. Hagrid out.
Goodness, Hagrid, what an amazing accent. What an amazing American accent. Even threw in a speech impediment. If only I was so well trained in voices and accents. My hat is off to you, sir. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is the time of the show in which we would like to recognize all the fantasy genre characters who are no longer with us. Charles the Orc, Erica the Orc, Jethro the Orc, Billy the Orc, Francisco the Orc, Caroline the Orc, Consuelo Rubio the Orc, Guy the Orc, and Dumbledore. Touching. We shan't forget them. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I must confess that when I was gathering this fellowship of the thing that we are doing tonight, I searched Middle-earth and the fantasy genre for an African-American wizard. I must say that I fell short in my search. I was unable to produce even one relevant African-American wizard or magicka. I'm so... What? Frodo, look out! Frodo!
Welcome to the roast of Kazam! How many here have ever seen the movie Kazam? That is the power that Kazam possesses. He confuses people to think that they actually have seen the movie Kazam, when in reality no one has ever seen Kazam! Well, go ahead and everyone take a look about the room. See how many black people are in here, and you will soon realize why there are no black people in Middle-earth. It's like you think the black people can't do a British accent. Black people can do British accents. We can do it. You can say pip pip Cheerio, and I love Cheerios. I motherfucking love Cheerios, y'all. I love the B, I love Cheerios. Why y'all hate on Kazam, man? I got magic. I'm a product of the 90s. I'm a genie that comes out of a boombox for no reason. And I also play basketball and rap. Kazam. You know what I mean? You feel me? Y'all feel me? The guy from the Dagwood, underneath Dagwood cartoon, he feels me. I know why there's no black people in magical universes. It's because there are no black people in England at all. Just doesn't exist. And the reason is because all of the black people just live in Africa, which is just below England. So we don't have to live in a cold, wet place all the time. But that's okay, right? We have our movies. White people, you have your movies. It works. You wouldn't see white people in a movie about Egypt, would you? Yes. Because white people ruin everything. I can prove it. A second ago, there was a rapping hat up here that ruined me being a rapping genie. It's the same thing. We got magic. Tons of magic. We got black people. Arsenio Halls look the same age for years. Pharrell refuses to age. Magic Johnson doesn't have AIDS anymore. He's literally black magic. Yet none of you have seen my universe. You look at this universe. Look at this. Look at these people. Look at this guy. Look at that guy. Look at the guy with the stick. Look at the pregnant lady. Look at the wet salamander guy. Played a never-ending game of Gotcha Nose. My universe suffers. I'll tell you what happens in my universe. Here's an excerpt from my movie, Kazam. Later that day, Max witnessed his father being assaulted by Malik, who was a white child for some reason, no one knows. Malik and his minions go to Kazam for help. Kazam just received a record deal as a professional rapper and was unable to help. Max is kidnapped by Malik and takes possession of Kazam's boombox. After pushing Max down an elevator shaft, Malik summons Kazam, and you're just gonna have to wait to see what happens next. Come join the Kazam revolution! I am a rapping genie! I was probably going to have many more movies, but then I sucked as a rapping genie! Space Jam was great, what could go wrong? Kazam could go wrong! In conclusion, puff of smoke!
Where did he go? He was right here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Max Frosser, the fastest selling author of all time. Every book she wrote was more successful than the last. She broke records upon records. That is until the year of 2012. One faithful book would break them all. Speaking, of course, about the fictional masterpiece, 50 Shades of Grey. Well, nevertheless, she is here tonight for a special world premiere reading of her newest and 8th Harry Potter book. Ladies and gentlemen, J.K. Rowling.
Hello, before I go any further, I just want to say I hold no ill will towards 50 Shades of Grey. I'm a different writer. I'm a children's author. Some people need sex to sell books. Some people don't. So here we go. Harry Potter and the 50 Shades of Gryffindor. Chapter 1, The Boy Who Came. It had been 40 years since someone tried to carve the N-word in Harry's forehead. And then chickened out after the first letter. But all was not well. Harry was divorced, only saw his children every other weekend, and Ginny had taken half of his gold from his vault. Casual sex wasn't going any better, because like half of all wizards over the age of 40, Harry was suffering from WD, wand dysfunction, commonly known to muggles as noodle dick. It was Parents' Weekend at Hogwarts. Harry sat in his dark room, his wand in his left hand, his other wand in his right hand. Erectus Maximo. But there was nothing. Erectus Maximoso. Still, there was nothing. Harry's manhood lay there like a tiny and shriveled and transparently pink house elf. Harry, no, it says not going to get any better. I'm going to sell some goddamn books, so get on board. Get on board. I'm doing this. Come with me. It's going to get worse. A lot fucking worse. I will not be outsold by some goddamn housewife who's horny and bored and enjoying Twilight. Get on board. Harry heard a noise from the room next door. It was the distinct sound of Hermione repeatedly punching Ron in the testicles. This was a common occurrence, and Ron always accepted his punches with gratitude. For they all three knew this was the only way that Ron could come. I haven't thought of a cute word for come yet. Hermione took Ron's wizard meat into her hand. Speak dirty to me, Ron. Okay, Ron replied. You're so cute. Dirtier, Ron. You're a filthy mudblood. Too far! And Hermione slapped him. Ron shook his head in dismay. It's so hard to know what witches want. Just then, a dark and sexy cloud fell over Hogwarts. Harry's entire body tingled, his other wand as stiff as a broomstick. He then heard that familiar voice. Harry Potter, I'm going to slither into your chamber of secrets. Meanwhile, all of Hogwarts had erupted into an orgy. Professor McGonagall reached under her 9,000-year-old robe, ripped off her sloppy, sodden panties, flinging them at a painting of Dumbledore in memory. Hagrid tried to resist, but his giant member sprang free. It was bigger than a man. It was bigger than Hagrid himself. It looked like an angry purple tree. When it released, it landed with a loud whack, broke through a castle wall, and blinded a passing owl. Also crushed to death a first-year student of Hufflepuff. May he rest in peace. Hagrid and his purple tree trunk ran off into the woods crying because it turns out there can be too much of a good thing. Meanwhile, Hermione and Ron were locked up in ecstasy, doing it three-headed doggy style. All of Hogwarts was aroused, and Harry realized there was one Horcrux left. One Horcrux that had not been destroyed, and it was deep, deep inside his butthole. Just then, an explosion. The Death Eaters descended on the castle. It was an ambush. They were casting erotic spells left and right. Cunnilingus! Analingus! Ejaculatum! The Dementors swooped in, sucking everything in sight. All of Hogwarts was paralyzed in pleasure. It's getting really worse. Ron looked deep into Hermione's eyes. You know what I want to hear, Hermione. Ron, I can't, Hermione screamed. Please, Hermione, you know how much it turns me on. I know, Ron smirked. That's why I like it. Okay, I'll do it. Say it, Hermione. Okay. Do me, you goddamn ginger. Drill me hard, you goddamn worthless ginger. Split me in half. You are nothing compared to Harry Potter. You're just a worthless goddamn ginger. Ron erupted. Yes, take that big ginger wand, you mudblood witch. They just continued yelling racial slurs at each other and punching each other. Just then, Harry heard the voice of the Dark Lord. delivering the most powerful erotic spell in existence, Climactimus Orgasmoso. And Harry felt a rush of pleasure that burst through him so intensely, he blacked out. When he came to, he was crumpled on the floor, still feeling the delicious shock waves. It pulsed deep in his butthole, but mostly in his soul, but a lot of that was in his butthole. He had not felt this alive for 23 years. He reached up. He touched his scar. It burned the most excruciating pain, and it was intertwined with the most exquisite pleasure he had ever known. Harry looked up, and there he was, standing in the doorway. He who shall not be named, only his name is Voldemort. And for this part, I really need you to picture Rafe Fiennes, not this guy. It will not work. It really needs to be Rafe Fiennes. Actually, don't picture anyone on the stage, only movie people for this to work. Okay, here we go. Big finish, big finish. There he was, his pale skin gleamed like porcelain slits for nostrils. His thin lips curled into an almost smile. There he was, holding his wand in his right hand, his other wand in his left hand, and he was wearing nothing but the sorting hat. Take that, E.L. James. Go back to the suburbs, put on your mom jeans, and eat a bag of Dickuloso.
I, for one, will definitely be purchasing that book. The offer still stands, J.K. Very old but capable. Just think about it. Just think about it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the man of the hour. The man we came to see, Mr. Harry Potter, a man who apparently thought it was just fine to fuck his best friend's sister. Not cool, man. Not cool. If I were your teacher at Hogwarts, I would surely tell you to improve your grades. Otherwise, you shall not pass. That all I have to do is just quote the film. I would have done that much earlier had I known. We'll try it for the next show. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Harry Potter.
All right. Expecto Patronum. All right, let's end the show. Give it up one more time for Gandalf, everyone. Gandalf doing a wonderful job hosting. Of course, nobody could replace Dumbledore, but you are really his spitting image, from your flowing robes to your rancid, jizz-encrusted beard. Gandalf's beard, ladies and gentlemen, has captured more semen than Sir Francis Drake. You have a Duggar family secret stash in your stash. It's mind-boggling. It's truly mind-boggling. Frodo Baggins, you tiny hillbilly. You look like Mr. Conductor went off the grid. Oh no, Obama's gonna take my talking trains away. How is it that you're only interesting when you're literally invisible? How is that? Oh, I'm the greatest wizard of all time, and I'm played by the greatest actor of my generation. Now I'm gonna fuck off halfway through the movie, but don't worry, here's Frodo, he kind of has a mullet. Ron, you're my best friend. It really hurts me to see you disparage and call the ginger throughout this entire roast. I would never call you a ginger. Ginger, in my experience, improves the dishes that it's added Hermione, I'm picturing the sort of mother that I know you'll be, and so I offer you 2 words. Hymenus reparo. That didn't work. All right, well, good try. Hagrid. Erica Badu called. She does not want her pubic hair back. Kazam was here. Kazam, I have nothing unkind to say. He very graciously filled in. We really wanted Atreyu from the Neverending Story to be here. Unfortunately, his ride got stuck in the mud, so that couldn't happen. Professor Snape, go fuck yourself, you rickety albino stooge. You were excellent in Love Actually. Voldemort is here. Voldemort has spent more time inside an arsehole's turban than Osama bin Laden's hair. You look like a foot fetish became sentient and acquired physical form. Look at you. You look like Mr. Potato Salad Head. You look like someone tried to make foie gras out of Slender Man. You look like Chris Farley. All right, I'll take it back. You look like present-day Chris Farley. Gollum, same jokes minus the fat jokes. Finally, I want to do homage to truly one of the greatest authors of children's fantasy to ever live. Unfortunately, Anne Frank couldn't be here tonight. So we have J.K. Rowling, a middle-aged woman cosplaying as a slightly more middle-aged woman. Ms. Rowling, you are to children's literature what Ariana Grande is to children's literature. I don't know if you've noticed, but most of my really deep references were to, like, the first 3 books. That's as far as I got, and I'm in them. You look like Bridget Jones's diarrhea. Now, I will defend Miss Rowling on just one point. When she finished the Harry Potter series, she wrote a new book called The Casual Vacancy, and everyone turned on her because it had nothing to do with magic and the things that they had loved her for. And I find that unconscionable. No one turned on Stephen King when he started writing legal thrillers at the height of his popularity. Oh wait, that never happened because Stephen King only writes books about a novelist from a small New England town who's forced to confront an ancient Lovecraftian evil that can only be defeated by a magical retarded child, because that's what the fuck Stephen King does! Sorry. I just had a shot of tequila and I'm 11. Sorry. But in all seriousness, I'm so honored for these 2 giants of fantasy, Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings and kind of Kazam, to be sharing this stage together. It's not about who has the biggest box office, who's the more popular, who has the more literary cred. It's all about engaging children's imaginations. That's what we're all about. And I truly believe that everyone here on this stage, I consider my friend. And if I've said anything to upset any of you, just know, and I mean this on every level, I'm JK. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Harry Potter, everyone! Before we end, Harry, there is just one more thing. Harry, tonight we have given you jokes and japes and frivolity, but I fear we have not given you the hospitality that you deserve.
Gandalf enough!
you not know who I am? I defeated the Balrog of Moria through fire and water, until at last I threw down my enemy and smote his ruin upon the mountainside. I knew they would like the quotes. J.K. Rowling, how dare you compare your silly fantasy to mine? You are the Beverly Cleary of the fantasy genre. I am Stephen King, and you are R.L. Stein. I am sick and tired of the comparisons between us. They end tonight, once and for all.
Let him go, Gandalf, or I will cut Frodo's throat.
I'll get another hobbit.
George R.R. Martin sends his regards.
Frodo, look out!
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to the roast of Harry Potter! Please give it up for Tyler Jackson as Ron Weasley, Craig Williams as Lord Voldemort, Patrick Passafiume as Frodo Baggins, Mark Parris as Gollum, Kate Sedgwick as Hermione, Luke McDermott as the Sorting Hat, Jake Reber as Severus Snape, Ron Hershberg as